Sibingelele sikwamukele indabeni zehora lokuqala emini sibingelele nakuwe osibuka ohlelweni lwetholusha lezokusakaza iDTT lezi ndaba nizethulelwa usakhiwo ngokwasokhela naze nohlonze emini nje.
If this court allows the proceedings to go on today, it will be committing an irregularity which will result in a failure of justice.
Lizoqhubeka kusasa icala lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa enkantolo ephakeme ePitoli. Inhloso ukunika abameli babamangalelwa ithuba lokucubungula isitatimende esifungelwe sikafakazi omusha wombuso kuleli icala.
I do regret the delay. It should not have been as long as it is, but the intent is there.
Umengameli wezwe uCyril Ramaphosa wethembisa amalungu eParliament ngokuthi uhlelo lokucubungula nokuqaphela izinga lenhlalo lamalungu eCabinet kuyaqhubeka nokwaseqhulwini enhlelweni zehhovisi lakhe yize sekuphela iminyaka lamenyezelwa.
There's an issue that between now SABC and SuperSport. We must intervene on that issue because the people of South Africa look up to us.
Sekungenelele ungqongqoshe zemidlalo uzizikodwa embangweni ophakathi kweSABC neMultichoice mayilana nemali okufanele ikhokhwe ukuze umsakazi lomphakathi uthole ilungelo lokusakaza imidlalo yamabhokobhoko yendebe yomhlaba yebhola lombhoxo nezoqala ngolwesihlanu. Lizoqhubeka kusasa icala lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa enkantolo ephakeme ePitoli. Inhloso ukunika abameli babamangalelwa ithuba lokucubungula isitatimende esifungelwe sikafakazi omusha wombuso kuleli icala. Bakhale ngokuthi bahlinzekwe ngalesi statement khona namhlanje kuseni, kanti umbuso wona uzithethelele ngelithi abaphenyi bahlinzeke ngalesi statimende izolo kusihlwa. Bahlana balisa abathweswe icala lokusoconga uMeyiwa wabe ngunozinto bafana ngo-2014.
The matter cannot proceed today because apparently the defense are of the correct view that they were only supplied with the statement of this witness. Zungu today, or yesterday, late yesterday. The accused are entitled to be apprised of the case of the state, and we are fully entitled to be given full opportunity to prepare for that evidence. So if this court allows the proceedings to go on today, it will be committing an irregularity which will result in a failure of justice.
Umengameli wezwe uCyril Ramaphosa wethembise amalungu eParliament ngokuthi uhlelo lokucubungula nokuqaphela izinga lenhlalo lamalungu eCabinet kuyaqhubeka nokuba seqhulwini enhlelweni zehhovisi lakhe. Ngemva kweminyaka emihlanu amemezela lolu hlelo uxolisile ngokuthi namanje alikaqali.
Ngaseqaleni konyaka u2021 kwenziwa kwaba umgomo ukuthi kuzoqashwa izinga lenhlalo longqongqoshe beminyango ehlukene. Umholi weDA uJohn Steenhuisen ubuze umengameli wezwe ukuthi kungani namanje lolu hlelo lungakaphothulwa.
The delays have been occasioned by initially a process that would have led to a very superficial result, which I sent back and said I want a more detailed process. So that process is firmly underway now. And yes, I do regret the delay. It should not have been as long as it is, but the intent is there.
Umengameli Ramaphosa uphinde wahlonywa imibuzo nangeqhaza leNingizimu Afrika enhlanganweni yamazwe eBRICS.
We may well be the smallest in terms of population amongst the current BRICS members. And yes, our economy is the smallest of all these BRICS countries currently, but we are highly regarded, we're highly placed, and the fact that our trade with all these countries has grown exponentially.
Maqondana nodaba lokuzimela kwabehluleli nezinkantolo, umengameli wezwe uphendule ngelokuthi inhlangano ebusayo iANC iyakuhlonipha ngokuphelele ukuzimela kwabehluleli kanye nezinkantolo.
Umvikeli womphakathi osamisiwe uadvocate ubusiwe Mkhwebane obehlela ubuyele ehhovisi izolo ujike emasangweni aleli hhovisi njengoba besabela ukuphepha kwakhe. Umkhwebane uthi ithimba labaqaphi bakhe liyalela ukuthi lingamphelezeli uma eye komkhulu lomvikeli womphakathi ePitoli.
Umvikeli womphakathi osamisiwe uadvocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane uvele kafushane izolo emahhovisi okomkhulu lomvikeli womphakathi njengoba ngomsombuluko abhala enkundleni yezokuxhumana uX ukuthi uhlela ukubuyela emsebenzini wakhe.
A letter to the president yesterday informing him that I'm coming back to the office because the presidential minute was very clear that I'm suspended pending the completion of the inquiry.
Kunjalo kepha ihhovisi likaMengameli liphendule ngokuphuthuma litshela uMkhwebane ukuthi akayiqondisisanga kahle indlela yokusebenza komthetho wokumiswa emsebenzini.
Responded and indicated that I'm misinterpreting the law. That's not correct what I have read there. So I have also then responded back to the president to inform him about the difference between proceedings and the process.
Umkhwebane ubalule nokuthi uphucwe abaqaphi bakhe waxeka nalowo oyibamba lomvikeli womphakathi ngokugxambukela.
She should have kept quiet. She should have allowed the president to deal with this matter. I think even Parliament, they've said several times that, you know what, we don't interfere with the suspension. That's a presidential responsibility. Till now we are here dealing with the inquiry. I mean, it's so embarrassing.
Kusenjalo ngomsombuluko ozayo kulindeleke ukuthi kuvotelwe izincomo zekomiti leParliament lesigatshana usection 194 ebeliphenya ngokulungela kukaMkhwebane ukuba kulesikhundla.
Izakhamuzi ezihlala esakhiweni esinganakiwe eHillbrow zizokwalise ulaka lwazo ngesimo ezihlala ngaphansi kwaso kodwa ziyanqaba ukuyohlala kwenye indawo.
Zingaphezulu kwamakhulu ayisithupha izakhiwo ezigugile futhi ezinganakiwe edolobheni laseGoli eseziyikhaya kwabanye njengalesi Ivanin Court. Lesi sakhiwo ke esinezitezi ezishiya galombili kukholakala ukuthi siyikhaya labantu abangaphezulu kwamakhulu amabili. Bahlala lapha ke awekho amanzi, izindlu zangasese kanye nogesi. Abanye ke sekuphele iminyaka ecela emashumini amathathu behlala lapha.
Umphathi webhilidi azange bekhona bekukhona abantu nje abangenayo bengeyiba abaphathi bamabhilidi masifuna incwadi zokuthi sikwazi ukuhlala kahle right sithola ukuthi asiyitholi incwadi sibadala kibo.
Siyawakha amanzi sithenga uparafini swakha le daradini lapho la hamba phansi la qhume khona amanzi la geza amateksi
kanti nezigila mkhuba nazo sezizitholele indawo.
The thorn. As I speak now, we don't know how many bodies has been killed. You can't pass here. Even me, myself, I'm the victim. I lost one of my LG cell phone here behind that tree.
Idolobha ke laseGoli lazise izakhamuzi ukuthi sizosuswa njengoba lesi sakhiwo asikho ezingeni lokuba kungahlala abantu.
The police, the JMPD, the EMS and all the law enforcement agencies, they investigate and go and inspect here. But the courts allow these people to be here through an interdict. Now the question is, who needs to be accountable now?
Izakhamuzi zona zimanqeka.
Mengasithatha besibeke endaweni right, asina problem. Yes. Kodwa into ebhlungu engasiphatha kabuhlungu bezosithatha besilahle phandle.
Umlilo waqubuka edolobheni waveza udaba lokushaqwa kwezakhiwo kanye nezindlu kulesifundazwe. Ngesikhathi ke kunezinhlelo zokulungisa lezi zakhiwo, idolobha lenza kancane ukususa izakhamuzi esezenza lezi zakhiwo ikhaya lazo.
Ungqongqoshe wezogesi uDokotela uHosiyensu Ramokgopa uthi unethemba lokuthi izinkinga eziholele ekutheni izwe libe sesigabeni sesithupha sohlelo lokucisha ngogesi zizoxazululwa ngaphambi kokuphela kwaleli sonto.
Kusukela ngehora lesihlanu ekseni ngolwesibili lakuleli libuyele esigabeni sesithupha sokucisha ngogesi. uRamokgopa uthi basezinhlelweni zokulungisa inqalasizinda wengeza ngokuthi unesiqiniseko sokuthi kuzokwehliswa uhlelo lokucisha konga ugesi ekupheleni kwaleli sonto.
If the situation were to deteriorate further, we'll find a way of ensuring that also on the planned maintenance we are able to slow it down. But you'll see when we share with you that we have confidence that in the next few days towards the end of the week, those units are going to come back on stream.
Nakuba umnotho ukhule ngamaphesenti angu 0.6 kodwa kusawukhinyabeza kakhulu umnotho wakuleli ucisha konga ugesi.
We do appreciate that this has got huge implications on the South African economy, as the point has been made there that the rand has hit 19 rands to the dollar, and I think the insinuation there, and I guess it's correct, is on the account of the intensity of load shedding. So we do accept that there's a correlation between load shedding and the performance of the economy.
I-Eskom ithi kuyaqhubeka kulungiswa kwenqalasizinda.
Mbukeli sathi iqwetolo kanti uma sibuya sokuphathela uWT.
Firearms are the preferred weapons of choice for the majority of the attacks on councillors.
Ongqongqoshe amaphoyisa uGeneral Bhekicele udalule umbiko ohlonza ukuthi ezinye igameko zokubulawa kwamakhansela kwaZulu Natal zihlobene kakhulu nembango yekhundla yangaphakathi emaqenjini ezombusazwe. Bukele sikubingelele sikwamukela mangabe usanda ngena odabeni oluhambe phambili besibike ukuthi lizoqhubeka kusasa icala lokubulawa kaSenzo Meyiwa enkantolo ephakeme ePitoli. Inhloso ukunika abameli babamangalelwa ithuba lokucubungula isitatimende esifungelwe sikafakazi omusha wombuso kuleli icala. Bukela sikukhumbuza ukuthi lezi indaba zikhona na ku YouTube. Ngena kuyona uzicinge ngamagama athi SABC izindaba na kanjani uzosithola. Ongqongqoshe amaphoyisa uGeneral Bhekicele udalule umbiko ohlonza ukuthi ezinye igameko zokubulawa kwamakhansela kwaZulu Natal kuhlobene kakhulu nembango yekhundla yangaphakathi emaqenjini ezombusazwe.
Ikomiti lasePhalamende eliyinhlanganisela elakhiwe umnyango wezamaphoyisa owezokuvikela nowezobulungiswa kanye nokuhlunyelelwa kwezimilo namhlanje lethula umsebenzi osewenziwe emzamweni okulawula isimo esihlobene kakhulu nokuhlasela kosombusazwe kwaZulu Natal. Ungqongqoshe wezamaphoyisa uGeneral Bhekicele ohola ikomiti njengosihlalo uhlonze inkinga yezibhamu eziningi ezisezandleni kubantu abangafanele njengokunye komthelela wokusocongwa kwamakhansela kanye nosombusazwe.
Firearms are the preferred weapons of choice for the majority of the attacks on councillors, office bearers and municipality officials. It is on this score that the team has recovered 46 firearms from suspects which are linked through ballistic to multiple political murder cases before the task team.
Ungqongqoshe ucele uqagule nokuthi iyaqala kubonakala inhlansi yokusebenza kwemikhankaso yamaphoyisa efana neOperation Chanela neminye.
Over 250 unlicensed firearms have been taken off the street through operations. 46 are linked to murders, but those that have been taken off the streets are 250. With each update to the IMC on the work of the task team, it is becoming increasingly clear that the team is working with purpose, agility, and is focused on producing results.
Ucele uphinde wadalula nokuthi ithimba le task team elijutshele ukuphenya ngamacala okubulala okuhlobene nezombusazwe esifundazweni linikwe namandla okwenabela nasemacaleni odlame lwamatekisi kanye nasemahostela uma uphenyo lwabo lubaholela kulezo ingcenye.
Emngceleni ngama-53 engena kuleli umnyango wezasekhaya usunqume ukwenza izinguquko kweziyisithupha empeleni kwezisithupha emkhulu okuyiyona emkhulu okuyiyona esetshenziswa kakhulu.
Umnyango wezasekhaya usunquma ukuthatha igxathu ekuthuthukiseni eminye emngcele engena kuleli. Inhloso yalesi sinqumo ukuqinisekisa ukuphepha kanye nokuqapha indlela abantu abangena ngayo nabaphuma ngayo kuyo lemngcele.
We are here today to add another layer in the country's efforts to make our borders safer, less porous, and more importantly, very efficient in facilitating and easing of trade, as well as the legitimate movement of people.
Udokotela uMotswaledi uqhubeke wathi uhulumeni welakuleli ngeke kwazi ukuyithela ngabandayo uma ibona ingqinamba ngakho ke uzolisukumela udaba lwemngcele.
The South African government is committed
to put the latest infrastructure and relevant technology in its effort to modernize and upgrade our ports to be on par with the current global best practices on border management.
Kule mngcele yisithupho kuzokwenziwa kuyinguquko kubalwa kuyo iBait Bridge phakathi kwelakuleli neZimbabwe, kube ilibombo phakathi kwelakuleli neMozambique, iOshuk ephakathi kweSwatini nelakuleli, iMaseru ephakathi kwelakuleli neLesotho, kube iFixburg naye phakathi kwelakuleli neLesotho, bese kuba iKopfontein ephakathi kwelakuleli neBotswana.
Inhlangano esakazela umphakathi SABC ithi lahlekelwe cishe isamba semali engu1 billion amarandi ngonyaka wezimali ka2022 no2023. Ibhodi leSABC lidalule lokhu phambi kwamalungu eParliament nalapho belibika khona ngeindleko zesigaba sesine ke sonyaka kanye nombiko wezezimali.
Ibhodi yeSABC ithi indlela ekubonelelwa ngayo elijelo ngezimali ayisebenzi. Ithi indlela yokwenza imali edodobeleyo ebonelela icandelo likawonke-wonke ayikwazi ukuzimela.
This board is inheriting an institution which is reporting or which has reported a loss of 1.1 billion as at the end of March 2023.
Ngaphandle koko kukwakho nombandela wamalungelo ezemidlalo.
We are looking at alternatives that can enable us as the SABC to broadcast this rugby without entering the reckless trading environment where we take these rights at excessive price and we can't monetize them and we end up in a far worse loss position than we are in now, or even to be able to pay its staff members.
Ijelo le-SABC lithi amalungelo okusasaza indebe yehlabathi yombhoxo ahamba nemiqathango enzima.
Suppose all of those conditions with our OTT, made the negotiations up until the last minute like we are doing now, prevents the SABC from monetizing the rights that we are going to be acquiring.
Mamatya wendaba ze-SABC eParliament.
Umndeni odokoda edutywa eEastern Cape uthi uhlelo lozobulungiswa luhlulekile ukuzibonakalisa kwelinye ilungu lomndeni wawo elahlasela lashaya ngesihluku eminyakeni eyishumi edlule. Lomndeni uthi udlimbuya ngothi njengoba umuntu obebeka isinkwe etafuleni ashawa wavaleka amehlo.
Wakyaphaka amehlo ngexa ehlaselwa. Wayesebenza amatorho ngelo xesha ekwazi ukuncedisa ekhayeni lakhe. Ukuhlasela kwakhe kwabutshintsha ubomi.
Umile nabantu edorophini ndibanjwa ngumuntu njalo mfana bendize naye. Funa kuba ndihamba nomuntu wanzakubambelele kuya apha ecangwami. Ngale nduku ke leyo le manje ndisiva ngayo umhlaba. Apha phansi ziginqi baba kweziginqi ngicode bendisimelela ngale ntonga. Ngokulameko bhuti ayindiphathi kakuhle.
Ubomi abukho right. Sukela oko walimalayo. Izinto zatshintsha ngoba wayengumuntu ke ondincedisayo. Limele ningekapeni nkamkam. Yabona. So ndehlandinyuka ezibhedlele naye wade wabe ufumana isibonelelo ke ngoku.
Amapolisa athi babanjwa abenzi boku baze bagwetywa iintsuku ezingama-30 kodwa usapho lakwaDokoda alinalwazi ngoku. Isebe luzinziso loluntu lithi lizobonelela ngendlu yethutyana.
Isebe liye lenza uhlolo lwemeko abaphila kuyo belikhaya ngokulandela inkqubo yoniko-nkxaso kumakhaya angathathi ntweni. Isebe liza kunikezela ikhaya indlu yethutyana, i-temporary shelter, engadlulanga uLwesihlanu wale veki ngelixa isebe lisebenza ekuziseni isisombululo esisigxini nakwikhaya kwakulo nyaka mali sikuwo.
Olu sapho likwamemelela kwabo banothi bancede ngelixa basalinde kurhulumente. Ndingulwandile Mbulali.
Onogada basesibhedlela iRobert Mangaliso Sobukwe eKimberley Northern Cape baduba umsebenzi. Lokhu sekuvuse ukukhathazeka emalungeni omndeni egulizwe ngezokuphepha kwazo kanye nezisebenzi.
Onogada bathembisa ukungabuya emsebenzini
kuze kube ukuthi imali yabo ikhokha ngokugcwele. Balaxaza umsebenzi ngomsombuluko emva kokubhuntsha kwezingxoxo phakathi kwezinyunyana zesisebenzi kanye nabaphathi. Lesiteleka sikhathaze kakhulu ezinye izisebenzi kanye nesiguli.
Our safety is compromised as we are the citizens and the patients here because access control is not there yet controlled because security is not here. As you can see, the people are moving up and down. Inside the building, it's really a chaos.
Inyunyana yesisebenzi Hospesa isola abaphathi benkampani yonogada ngokungabi naliqiniso.
The property and the assets of the department are at risk. But the thing is that our people yesterday, they've tried, even though they were not on duty, but for the fact that we met there, we had a meeting, they tried to control the access and the police came and everything was disrupted and even 3 of our people were arrested.
Zempilo Northern Cape usuzwakalisa ukukhathazeka malunga nezokuphepha ezikhungweni zezempilo.
We have done our part as a department. It's a matter that we want to really bring forward in the good spirit. Of course, that we've been meeting our deadlines in terms of the 30-day payment processes. And at this current stage, we are engaging with the service provider.
Inkampani iDefensa Electronic Security yenqabela ukuphawula.
Inhloko yebhange lombuso uLisitshaganyago ubambe ingxoxo ngenhloso yokuqwashisa ngezinga eliphezulu lokuphila eNingizimu Afrika.
Abadayisi kule ndawo bathi ngaphambilini babedayisa amazambane afananise nalawa ngama-25 amarandi nje kuphela, kodwa manje le ntengo seyenyukile nokusho ukuthi kade lisazolala iziko emakhaya amaningi yaseNingizimu Afrika. Kafushane uthotamatisi bebebiza amarandi amahlanu nje kuphela ngaphambilini, igesi labo besilithenga ngama-35 kuphela, kodwa manje igesi selibiza $120. Ngokwenhloko yebhange lombuso, isimo somnotho wezwe asisihle futhi sehlisa namandla okuthenga irandi.
Over the past 18 months, South Africans, alongside their global counterparts, have enjoyed a rise in the cost of living. This came at a time when South Africans had become accustomed to low and stable inflation.
Uganyago uthi ziningi izinto eziphazamisa ukusimama komnotho wezwe.
Domestic food price inflation is still elevated, while the risk of drier weather conditions in coming months has increased. Domestic food prices also remain at risk from exchange rate volatility as well as the impact of geopolitical developments.
Ukuhamba kogesi nakho ke akuyisizi lenkinga, kanjalo nokunyuka kwentengo yowoyela.
Ungqongqoshe zemidlalo uZizikodwa uthi uzokwenza ke konke okusemandleni akhe uxazulula umdonsiswano okhona phakathi komsakazo lomphakathi SABC kanye nenkampani ezokusakaza ezimele iMulti Choice. Umsusa wengqinamba eziphakathi kwalemthombo yezindaba udaba lwamalungelo okusakaza umqhudelwano wendebe yomhlaba webhola lombhoxo.
Umsakazo lomphakathi SABC iyaliyaphetha ukukhokhela iMulti Choice samba esicela esigidini ezingama-40 zamarandi ukuthola igunya lokusakaza bukhoma imidlalo yamabhokobhoko emqhudelwaneni wendebe yomhlaba yebhola lombhoxo ozobanjelwa eFrance. iMulti Choice iyona kuphela igodle amalungelo okusakaza bukhoma imidlalo yalo mqhudelwano.
There's an issue that between now SABC and SuperSport. We must intervene on that issue because the people of South Africa look up to us to intervene on that issue. The way I'm very optimistic, based on the discussion we have had, that there won't be any national blackout, that issue will be resolved soon.
Kodwa uthi kufanele izakhamuzi zakuleli ezingenawo amandla okukhokhela uhlelo olumbeqolo lwe-DSTV zinqishwe ithuba lokubuka bukhoma imidlalo yamabhokobhoko.
Those that we have identified that they are an instrument of nation building, We must make sure that no section of our community is denied of an opportunity to watch the game of their choice.
Ugodwa ukusho lokhu ngesikhathi kwethulwa ngokusemthethweni isikhungo esethiwe ngumqeqeshi omkantshubomvu uBitso Msimane esizoba inkulisa yokucija abadlali abasafufusa esikoleni samabanga aphezulu esamkela kuphela abafundi abangamantombazane ilofense eOrlando East eSoweto.
I hope we revive the school sports, and I know you know my program is in the schools, because we cannot all be with clubs, we cannot all be with academies. We need to go to the ground, to the basics. Where does the players come from? Where do we come from? We come from the school first.
Kodwa ke udalule ukuthi ngesonto elizayo kuzosingathwa isithangamzi sezinsuku ezimbili okuzophungwa kuso ngokuthuthukisa ezemidlalo ezikoleni.
Mbukela umhlahlo wesimo sezulu uyalandela emva kwekhefu. Bukele sizibeka lapho indaba zehora lokuqala emini usale kahle.